I always felt a little ashamed of it. If you're out there and you have the same condition, I know how you feel, and I know that a lot of things promises to work and sometimes it doesn't. I used to feel like less of a woman just not getting my period, and used to look at girls saying like, oh my god, I wish I don't ever have a period from the pain. But I get it, and right now I'm very happy to be cured and to get my period. I've been getting my period now for around 4 years non-stop. If you don't want to hear the story, you can check basically how I cured right away. This video is not going to include anything about fertility because that's not something that I came across yet, because I am single and I haven't been married or tried to have babies before. So hence why I don't know when I indulge in that area what would happen. If you don't know what is PCO, it's Polycystic Ovarian Syndrome, and that basically comes to girls, and it's a type of hormonal imbalance that is caused by insulin resistance. It all started when I was 12. My body grew. I went through puberty. Everything was going all right, but I didn't get my period. Okay, we should maybe go to a gynecologist, but in my culture, if you're a girl who's young and you go to the gynecologist, people look at you as if you've done something wrong. That's nowadays is changing, but back at the time, it wasn't very common for a 12 years old girl to go to a gynecologist, you know, in the Arab world. So yeah, I'm Egyptian, by the way. I remember when we went to the doctor, he did the ultrasound on my stomach only, and then he was like, okay, she just needs to exercise a little bit and her period will come. I went to a gym and exercised, and I got my period. Started to come, but it comes 1 month, 2 months, no, 3 months, 4 months, no. The longest was 6 months. I didn't get it. Usually it happens when girls get their period in the beginning. It doesn't come very regular, like when you're older. And I was like, okay, maybe that's it. Maybe 6 months is normal. Like all girls go through this. I would see girls with me in school getting their periods, having the menstrual pain, and I'll be like, I don't know what that feels like, you know. It's like it comes when it comes, like every 6 months, which is like twice a year. It's like, damn, a big deal. At the age of 14, I started to have general fatigue in my body, faint a lot, like a lot, and my blood pressure would drop. And we thought at the time, me and my family, that it's from the blood pressure, until one day in an emergency room, the doctor asked me, when was the last time you got your period? And then I said 6 months ago. So she was like, you have to go to a gynecologist. And at the time I was young and I didn't know what that is. And I was like, what's wrong with me? Like, I'm okay. You know, this anger that fills you and makes you not want to check yourself. Or at least I would say I was too scared maybe. So that's why. My dad is a dentist, so he has a lot of friends who are doctors. He called his gynecologist friend. He said, okay, yes, do these tests and do ultrasound. So I've done all of this. PCO has different symptoms, and they say if you have 3 of these symptoms, then you have it. My problem was missing my period. Like, I don't get my period. I was very angry all the time. I was very tense. I always felt that I had water retention in my body. It was like all of these symptoms like showing on my body all the time. Recommended I take like anti-pregnancy pills. He said you need the strongest type of that because you need something to induce your period. So you see, what I had was 3 main things. The first thing was hormonal imbalance. So there are 2 main hormones, one that helps build uterus lining, waiting the arrival of a baby, and I have a lot of that, and the other drops the lining in a form of a period when you don't have pregnancy, and that I have very low of. So that was my first problem. The second problem is irregular ovulation. So I don't get an ovary every month. Sometimes it comes, sometimes it doesn't. And third, I had 6 cysts, which the PCO ovary has ova. They completed the cycle, but they did not come out. They turn into a cyst of sorts. I had 6 of them. The anti-pregnancy pills, what they do is that they artificially give you these 2 hormones so that the cycle itself of the uterus lining forming and dropping happens naturally to prevent you from getting uterus cancer. From the sonogram, I see your uterus is fine, productivity wise you're fine, there is no problem, you're gonna have kids, don't worry. Like, it's only a hormonal imbalance, you have to live with it. However, it puts you at risk of getting thyroids and diabetes, so you have to be very careful. You have to lose weight and you have to do a form of exercise that you always do and you never cut. Like, okay, you'll take it and you get period and you take it every other month, which I did. It was fine. My period came. It was giving me artificially those 2 hormones excessively. And I already had one that was very excessive and one very low. None of these hormones exists alone. It wasn't nice. I spent 7 years non-stop taking anti-pregnancy pills and all the side effects of that pregnancy pill. It wasn't even advised to take it non-stop that long, and I did. It worked every other month for the first 2 years, and then it stopped working. So I had to take it all the time. 7 years later, I gained a lot of weight. When this started with me, I was 69 kilos. Like, after those 7 years, I was 86. I tried every diet, nothing worked. In 1 month, I became 96, so 10 kilos more. And I did nothing. I cried like a baby because there was no reason why I'm gaining weight. I'm actually dieting all the time. I'm trying all the time. What's wrong with me? I go get tested and I realized that, okay, the first problem happened already. I got thyroid condition. It makes you gain weight. And I took L-Troxine to fix it, but I couldn't lose the weight. Everything else started to be bad. The fainting became more. The thyroid with all the other problems it comes with. It was just a mess. Until I came to Germany, I moved to Germany. I tell my mom lives here in Germany for so long, and she talks with her gynecologist, showing her my papers and everything. And then she was like, okay, she's not healing herself. All she's doing is taking like a painkiller and not looking at the main cause of the pain. To stop the anti-pregnancy pills, take natural herbs every day for 6 months. And those herbs, you can get them from Amazon. It's like, it comes in tablet form. And she takes them for 6 months non-stop. And on the 7th month, she's gonna get her period. My mom told me this. I was like laughing. What are you talking about? I anyways needed to stop my anti-pregnancy pills because it was like contradicting with my thyroid medication. But taking herbs, how I got cured. I took something called Agnus Castus Al. I order it from Amazon. I don't know the name of this in every language, so you may want to search it. And I took this every day religiously for 6 months, like she said. On the 7th month, I got my period. Since the day I started to take that herb, my period did not stop. Thank God, knock on wood. During that time, I had other health issues with my lungs, and it's a very long story. If you want to know the story, it's related to my bariatric surgery story, which led to me getting the bariatric surgery. And once I started to lose weight, my overall health was affected nicely. So losing weight is a second thing that comes hand in hand with curing PCO. You have to lose weight. There is no better way to say it. If you want to be healthier in your reproductive system, you have to lose weight, and you have to lose it the healthy way. You cannot lose it the unhealthy way. You have to eat a lot of things with omegas in them, which brings me to the second thing. There are certain supplements that you have to take in order to regulate things, especially if you get acne from your PCO. One of the major helpful things to get is zinc and omega-3 or cod liver oil. I know how frustrating it is. I take so many medications a day and supplements, but trust me, doing this, like changed my life completely. And when I went to my gynecologist here, I always go for a checkup, which is another thing you have to do. Always go for a checkup. Do blood tests every 3 months. Try to fight insulin resistance. How you fight that? I see a lot of people saying like go vegan, which is great, and I know it would work, but at the same time, not everyone is able to go vegan. It's a commitment that is very hard for people. But what I would recommend is you make step-by-step simple switches that would help you lose weight, would help you fight this insulin resistance. Eat things that are sugar-free, and it's what you allow in the house from the beginning. So I always now check the aisle, sugar-free items. I use this sugar brand instead of using sugar. I mainly use sugar in my coffee. I also found an alternative to milk. I'm lactose intolerant anyways. Milk has a lot of hormones in it, which might be causing you a lot of problems. So I substituted that to oat milk and soy milk and almond milk, and I enjoy all of them in different recipes so that I don't take too much of one of them. Eat dark chocolate instead of milk chocolate with sugar. Like, see things and switch them. Reduce the amount of carbs you take. Most of things with high glycemic index are bad for you and for the insulin resistance. I'm going to link very useful links down below to read things that helped me a lot along my way, but it's the small changes. My doctor also recommended me to have one simple exercise that I can do every day, long term, not for a period, just to help my blood flow in the body and help my body to regain its health. So all of these things combined really helped. My gynecologist said the moment I want to have babies, if I have trouble in that department, which is not right now, I am single, as I said, but when I would need that, all I would need to take is metformin, and also I would need to take things that encourage ovulation, which actually he said it might make me more susceptible to get twins and triplets. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that video from heart to heart. And if you want to ask me anything about PCO, let me know in the comment section down below. And yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Subscribe for more from me, and like this video if you liked it. And follow me on Instagram, on Snapchat, and also on TikTok right now. Imagine. Yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.